update. This is the side there wasn't anything growing before. I must look at what day these are ready for harvesting. It's 100 days after you plant the potatoes, but do not harvest them all at the same time. As you see, I think it was 48 potatoes I planted, and you don't want to harvest them all at once. So start with the ones that came up first, and I'll link below the video of how to know when your potatoes are actually ready for picking if you don't know your 100 days of sowing. Potatoes on the 4th of November, coming up rather well. Still lots of new ones coming up. There were, I think, 43 potato plants, or potatoes. They weren't starters or anything, they were purely shop bought potatoes. 43 potatoes just shoved in. There's no soil in here, this is purely straw. If it looks like soil, it's because it's damp. I just sprinkle them a bit and keep them moist. So 43 potatoes. I don't think there's 43 come up yet. As I say, there's still new ones coming all the time at the minute. There's a good example. The first ones were over here. These ones didn't come till quite a bit later, this side. And the darker greens are the older ones, which is, if you're wondering why they're different colours. I'll keep you updated on those. 11th of November. 12th of November, I've noticed the first flower heads forming on the potatoes, and some more over here. Of November. I haven't been down to the potatoes since my last clip, so let's see what they're doing. And even in our extreme temperatures in November of the heat, remember, potatoes don't like to be wet. They always say don't give your potatoes wet feet, and so therefore a little sprinkling is fine. And this is one of the reasons I find it best to grow potatoes in Hugelkultur beds, or in raised beds with Hugelkulture method, or as these are, completely in straw, because then you don't need to worry about keep watering them. And you saw the flower heads last time, and yes, look, they've opened up. So we have the flower heads, and don't forget you want these to die off. You can pick them any time after then, but they will be tiny small potatoes. What you want to find is the whole plants died off, but not completely dead, looking like you could revive them. So they still want to have some green on them, but they look like they're withering and dying off with brown on them as well. That's the time to pick them. Or as I say, if you can note when you put your potatoes in the ground, 100 days from the day you put them in the ground. Of course, like here, some are growing faster than others, even though they were planted exactly the same time, which is a good thing, because then you have potatoes for a long time. So here, for example, we can see some new ones coming up, much smaller, and even some tiny baby ones coming up as well. They are very crowded. I did 43 potatoes in this one area, but that doesn't matter with potatoes. It just means when you dig them up, don't go digging all the way down. What you want to do is just choose one potato plant and just take the top level away and see those potatoes, and leave the rest. Don't go digging deep or dig them all up, because although people can store them, I like them fresh from the ground. They've got much better taste, so therefore I leave them in the ground until I need them. So don't be in a huge rush to dig them all up and see how many you get. I always find harvesting potatoes very exciting. It's like, surprise, have you got any, and how many are there, and what size are they? So check in with you with my next development on the potatoes. First potato haul. All washed, ready for dinner.